Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. We're notifying viewers that you're live. Got my wallet here. Got my charger. Got my sunglasses. Hello, Josh. Got my keys. Got my earbuds. And got a pocket full of change. Got a pocket full of change. Wonder if I'm going to be able to read. I can't hardly see the screen. Might be a problem. Might be a problem. I guess I knew there was risk. I knew there would be risk. I was searching. Josh Ogren shared the live. I so appreciate that. I knew there'd be risk. I was looking for a shady spot to go live. Can you see me, or is the glare off the top of my head blinding my viewing audience? Because I'm having struggles seeing the screen, and I am just going to do my best. And again, that's kind of all we can do. Before I do my best, I'm going to try and clean off my screen. It's covered with fingerprints. If I hang up on a... you guys really got to look at my tonsils or some other deep part of my mouth. I can't even tell. Is that a pretty view? Let's turn it around. Let's show you guys where we are. I can't see the phone hardly at all. But I announced it that it is Saturday from Yellowstone. So I'm going to give you a little tour of what it looks like in Yellowstone on a Saturday afternoon from Mammoth Hot Springs. And good afternoon, and thank you anybody and everybody for joining. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is, I guess, Coffee with Ken. Although, to be honest, it's not truly coffee, but we'll get to that in a minute. It's a show I started doing about 5 years ago, just over 5 years ago. At a time, I was kind of struggling. Well, thank you, Scott. I wish I could see. Somebody said long time no see. It's going to be really hard to say hi to you guys and talk to you. Happy Saturday from Western Washington. Hello from Western Washington. I'm not sure I'm in the best possible spot. I don't know. If I can't see the comments or the commenters, I'm not sure it's going to work for me. But maybe things are happening for a reason. And I was looking for some shady spots under a couple pine trees over there where there were, I am not drinking an Arnold Palmer. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, no, it's a lot stiffer than that. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But anyway, this is Coffee with Ken, and it's Saturday, July 20th. It would be my mother's 84th birthday. She passed about 4.5 years ago due to Alzheimer's. And I miss my mom, and I love my mom very much. And in some ways, I got a lot of who I am from my mom. I mean, certainly some from my dad as well, but my mom was always very emotional and kind of nutty. And I'm emotional, and I'm kind of nutty as well. And about 5 years ago, I kind of realized my nuttiness, and I think I'd been fighting it and had a negative self-image and talked a negative inner voice for sure. And had to realize that it wasn't good, and that you can't go around being mean to yourself or saying negative things and expect to have a happy life. So I started working on myself, and this was just over 5 years ago. And you can go back and see me if you care to. Hello there. Good to see you. I feel horrible. I can't see who's speaking to me. I can only see the comments, so I apologize because the names are kind of dim, and I'm in the bright sunshine here in Yellowstone. But anyway, it's Saturday afternoon, and I decided to hop on TikTok live this afternoon. I spent the night in a tiny town called Cook City, right on the Wyoming-Montana border on the northeast gate of Yellowstone. And I'm out in Yellowstone for any new watchers that haven't been watching. And Audrey, thank you, Audrey. I've been working for 2 months as a waiter. I grew up in the western suburbs of Chicago. I've had various career paths. I was a stockbroker for a while. I was a realtor for even longer, 17 years, and left real estate a couple of years ago. But I'm a twice divorced guy with 4 beautiful children and a lot of financial responsibilities, and was trying some different things and applying for different jobs, but honestly didn't have the direction or clarity that I think I needed to cover my costs and to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I know I've been enjoying doing this show, and I put a lot of effort into this show, and my screen keeps getting darker, which is disappointing. But anyway, about 2 months ago, I rode out to Yellowstone and took a job waiting tables at a dining room that's right over there. Why does my screen keep getting darker? Waiting tables at a dining room that's right over there. Why does my screen keep getting darker? I'm gonna turn you guys around, because if I can't see the comments, that kind of takes the fun out of it. But anyway, I rode out on my scooter, a Suzuki Bergman 400, to Yellowstone about 2 months ago. I've been waiting tables and working hard and doing my best and having a positive attitude and experiencing all that is Yellowstone and all that is living in a national park and being surrounded by tourists on a day-to-day basis, and also surrounded by my coworkers. So it feels a lot like living in a really small town with a huge amount of tourists coming through on a daily basis, and that's kind of what it is. And I miss the Chicago suburbs, and I miss my children and my friends and my family. And for the last 3 weeks, I've been working on ways to find my way back to Chicago and hadn't come up with any solid plan. And over the last day and a half, I decided to take a ride out of the park and across a beautiful stretch of road called Beartooth Highway, which is one of the most famous roads in the world. I need to get in the shade. I would need to be able to see you guys. I wonder how I can do it. I wonder how I can do it. You guys were willing to come with me on a little bit of an adventure, but if I can't see, if I can't see who may or may not be commenting, it's just not fun for me. It's just not fun for me. So let's come along. Let's find a little shady spot and see if we can talk in the shade. And the people that walk by will be thinking, hey, this guy's a little strange. He's talking to his phone. And they'll be kind of right. I am a little strange in my own charming sort of way. Watch this. I'm going to dodge traffic. I lived in Chicago for 12 years. Park area to the park area to the Mammoth Springs Hot Springs Hotel, and hopefully that helps me see the comments and see who's joining and see things a little more clearly. Oh, it's still not my favorite spot. It's still not my favorite spot, and I'm still dark. I'm still dark, and the commenters are dark. And somebody just hopped on, Gail Tobin, who I know. Encourage my viewers to share my live and invite more friends. That'd feel a little funny. That'd feel a little funny. But where was I? Where was I? Oh, yesterday, I decided to ride off out of the park and take a trip to a place called Red Lodge, Montana. And it was one of my most enjoyable days I've had in the last 2 months at the park, or out of the park even, since I've come here. And it was a beautiful ride through the mountains, over the mountains. Well, thank you. Screen is freezing on your end. Let me see. Is it freezing on your end? Is it freezing on your end? Hold on, hang with. Freezing on your end? Hold on, hang with. Now if I can just get the names and the comments and everybody hopping on, I'd feel great. But anyway, yesterday morning, I'm sitting in this hotel that's sitting right behind me, and I knew I wanted to get out of the park. And I've realized since I've been here, living in a national park is challenging for me, and it feels so good to hop on my scooter and go for a ride and get out of the park and get down to a community, be a small town or a big town like Bozeman, and just get out of the park and get amongst people. And I've realized a lot of things over the last 2 months, a lot of things about life, a lot of things about myself, a lot of things about national parks and what I enjoy doing and what I don't find so important. First of all, we'll talk about wildlife photography. I don't think I'm personally that into it. I have no desire to be a wildlife photographer. I was riding through a beautiful valley in the midst of Yellowstone this morning called Lamar Valley. And there were herds of buffalo out in the field. And there were hundreds, if not thousands, of tourists parked alongside with big fancy cameras, taking pictures of these herds of buffalo and walking out into the field and taking pictures of them. And I said, you seen one buffalo, you've seen them all, is my attitude. And I go, I'm glad. I enjoy seeing them. I think it's neat. I think they're God's creatures and they're beautiful. But I'm not going to spend my afternoon by myself, I don't think, taking pictures of buffalo. So I kept on riding. I rode a little further. I was riding by a lake on my way this morning, and there was another crowd by this lake taking pictures. And I saw a ranger, and I saw something splashing in the water. I thought for a second it was probably a bear. A bear usually draws our biggest crowds, but I looked close as I'm riding my scooter by, and I realized it was a mama moose and a baby moose playing in the water, not too far from the road I was riding on. And I yelled over to the park ranger guy that was there, and I go, hey, is that a moose? And he goes, it sure is. I go, huh. And I kept on riding. And couple thoughts I had. When I woke this morning, I woke in a tiny hotel called, or not a tiny hotel, a tiny city called Cook City in Wyoming or Montana. It's right on the border. Cool little city, cool little town, cool little vibe. Very touristy, probably only 100 people or so live there. But I wasn't excited to come back to the park this morning. I have enjoyed my journey here to the park. I have enjoyed the traveling across the country, the experiences I've had, the people I've met. But the most important thing to me are my family and my friends and feeling like I'm at home. And as much as I enjoy riding my scooter through beautiful mountains and seeing buffalo or seeing moose or seeing what have you, what stirs my pot, if you will, isn't seeing a bear or isn't seeing a moose or even a pack of wolves or a herd of buffalo. It is seeing my kids foremost. I have 4 beautiful children, and my friends and family, and all the people that I know in the western suburbs of Chicago. And I miss them, and I especially miss my kids. And my ex-wife is kind enough to FaceTime me a couple times a day, so I get to chat with my kids. But I have 2 beautiful young ones that are honestly too little to to know how to talk even. And it's cute, and I cry, and they blow me kisses and stuff, and they're sweet. But I want to get back to my kids. Point being, and I realized it here, I've been working at the dining room, waiting tables for the last 2 months. And I think I have realized on my journey out here that I'm so far from perfect. I mean, we're all far from perfect, but I do have some strengths, and I am good at things, and I have abilities, and I have an ability to talk and connect and relate to people in ways maybe not everybody can do. And that there are opportunities for me outside of a national park setting that don't exist here in the park. And on my ride, for instance, I've talked a lot, I've done a lot of videos how I don't like sales or how I'm not good at sales. I think I've probably just been selling the wrong product. I think I've been selling the wrong product. I was riding behind a RV, a Class B RV by, I think it was a Ram RV today. And I was so excited and I wanted to buy it. And I thought, gosh darn it, I could sell those things. I could sell those things. And I think there's a lot of products I probably could sell at a really high level and do really well. And I don't necessarily want to be in sales. And I don't know what my future holds. But I do know that I want to get back to Chicago. And that when I'm outside of the park, there are more opportunities for me financially than when I'm inside of the park. And the only reason I'm really here right now is because as an employee of the park, I have room and board, and the room is a dorm room with roommates, and board is food served in a cafeteria, and I'm given it for $500 a month. And therefore, I'm only here. Yes, my job's good, but I'm sure there's other jobs. There's jobs at least as good in the restaurant business in Naperville, and where I grew up, where I live, where I know home, where I call home, where my kids live, and I could get a job doing that there. And the only issue I'd have is taking care of housing. So what's keeping me here and keeping me away from my kids is maybe $1,000 or $1,500 a month. And while I like saving the money and I like earning a fair amount of money and I like paying my child support to 2 ex-wives and I need to keep doing that, I think with a little more purpose in my heart and a little more determination, I could more than make up for it back in the western suburbs of Chicago. Because when you're living in Chicago, in a big city with thousands, if not millions of businesses, there's opportunity everywhere. There's small business owners, there's big companies, they're all hiring, they're all looking for workers. There's all sorts of products to sell. And when I'm here in the national park, A, I'm struggling with some loneliness and missing my kids, but B, there's really no outside employment opportunities. And yeah, no, I appreciate that. Is that Judy saying that sometimes you just need time to yourself to figure it out? And I felt that today. And I was 100 miles east of here or closer to home when I woke up this morning. Maybe not 100, but I was east of here, closer to home. And I started heading back west, going back to the park, and I was kind of thinking, why am I riding away from my children? I want to get back to my kids and back to my friends and back to my family and back to a place that I've called home all my life. And I realized that, and I'll tell you what, I rode one of the most beautiful highways in the world yesterday, again, the Beartooth Highway. And everyone asks me how it was it awesome? And it was beautiful and it was cool. But I'll tell you what, there's beauty all around us. There's beauty in the clear water of a swimming pool back home, or the green grass, or the smile on my son's face. And I don't need to be in the mountains to appreciate the blessings that we have, or to remind me there's a purpose, or there's a reason, or there's a meaning in life. And every day I'm here, and every day when I FaceTime my kids, I cry a little bit. And like Judy said, sometimes you need to just take time for yourself to figure it out. And maybe that's what I needed. But I cannot tell you how excited I'm going to be to pack up my scooter and start heading back. And whether that's tomorrow or next week or next month, I think I have clarity on that. And I know things will be different, but things will be good. And I know there will be challenges, but I've learned I'm strong on this trip, and I'm capable, and I can handle challenges with a smile. And if I'm in a job interview, I've realized I'm a hardworking guy that brings a good attitude every day to work. Not perfect. I have ups and downs, and I'm certainly far from perfect. But I'll say that in an interview. But I'm going to work hard and bring a ridiculously positive work or attitude, almost an annoyingly positive work attitude, to anywhere that I'm working. And I know I do that, and I've realized what my strengths are, and I'm okay with any weaknesses. And I don't know. I have a confidence that I didn't have 2 or 3 months ago. 3 months ago, I didn't see any way out. The only way I saw out was riding out to the mountains and living in a $500 dorm room and eating in a cafeteria and working in a dining room. But now when I'm out of the park and I'm in a city, I see opportunities everywhere. And I see businesses that need employees or managers or CEOs. And each one of them is a possibility for me. And this has been an awesome experience, but I need to get home to my babies and love on them and kiss on them and be their dada, and not just one that's sending out checks for child support, which I want to keep doing. And I've talked a lot about it before. I've had a lot of money before, and money doesn't buy happiness, but it does make some things easier. It does make some things easier. And I think the sky's the limit for me in all sorts of ways, be it physically or spiritually or relationship-wise or financially. And maybe my limited negative thoughts that I've talked a lot about before have been holding me back. Yeah. But while I'm here, I'm probably one of the higher as waiters, we're all higher paid employees than most of almost anybody else we work with. So we're at the top of the food chain already. And I've been working hard, and I've been working full time and running around and trying my best. And it doesn't matter if a shift is a little good or a little bad. I know if I work real hard, I'm going to earn this amount of money. And it's going to cover my financial responsibilities and allow me to save a few $100. And that's nice. But I also could have bigger dreams than saving a few $100. And I do have bigger dreams. I want to own an RV. I think that'd be really neat. And I want to buy an RV. And I don't want to be saving $500 or $1,000 a month to get there. I only have 30 years left on this planet. I want to make some things happen. And I realized over the last 2 months that I can make things happen. I do have skills. I do have abilities. I certainly have weaknesses and faults. but I realize them, and I can be open and honest about them when I'm talking with somebody, and I can really, and when I say I also mean you. We can do anything we want if our mind is in the right place. And I think I got out here 2 months ago to get my feet under me and to get my mind in the right place. And I've been able to do both of those things. So now the only thing keeping me here is cheap room and board. And cheap room and board isn't attractive enough for me to live so far away from my kids. So I'm excited today and thinking of possibilities. And again, I'm driving through Lamar Valley. People are taking pictures of buffalo and moose and looking for bears. And all I'm thinking about is, how do I get home? How do I get back to my kids on the whole ride? And this isn't a depressed Ken at all. It's a determined Ken who wants to get back to Chicago, wants to do real well, wants to love on his kids, and really enjoy the heck out of life. And that's what I'm going to do. I talk about a lot about taking next step. Why did I leave? Because I needed to have a roof over my head and be able to pay child support for 4 kids to 2 ex-wives. And I didn't find myself in a place where I thought I could do it. Honestly, I didn't know if I could wait tables at a high level and 40 hours a week. And I proved to myself I can. I kind of enjoy it, and I'm pretty good at it. And it was real attractive being offered a room and board for $500 a month. And I've enjoyed it, and I've utilized it. But me, whether I save $500 a month or $700 a month or $1,000 a month, isn't really the issue. I need to raise my game and raise my expectations, and just raise my expectations and what I ask of myself. And I know I can do it. And I'm going to keep growing Coffee with Ken because I have a ton of fun doing this. And heck, I got, 60,000 followers or something on my social media platforms. That's got to mean something. And it grows every day. And I have people joking that about job opportunities for me and things I should be doing. And I'm serving eggs to tourists every day at Yellowstone for breakfast. And maybe I just got to raise my expectations and raise the bar a little bit and get back home and really kick some ass and really dig my teeth into life. I think, and I won't go into the specifics, I've created enough distance for me from something back home that I'm in a better place and a healthier place when I left. And that feels good, and I feel comfortable in that spot. And I'm ready to, like I said, kick some ass and do some big things. So, my next step, I would say, and I'll just talk it through, and you guys say what you want, is landing a job of some sort back home. Right now, probably the easiest job to land would be a waiter job at a nice restaurant, and I could make similar, if not more money than I do here. And I could put that together on my ride home, and I could put a housing solution together on the ride home as well. And again, I find the only thing keeping me here right now, and again, I'm not saying it because woe is me at all, but I want to be with my kids, and I want to kick some butt and do some good things and play the game of life like I know I can. And maybe I've not taken the last couple turns out, because this has certainly been a valuable part to my trip. And I've certainly been able to cover my financial responsibilities, which are significant, and pay down some debt and take care of my kids financially the way they need to be taken care of. But I miss them, and I miss them a lot, and I'm looking forward to getting home to them. And the sooner the better. So I'm just going to throw it out to you guys and throw it out to the universe on this Saturday that I'm ready to keep playing the game of life, and keep winning at the game of life, and keep doing my best, and keep smiling and saying hi to people that walk by, and shaking veterans' hands, and picking up garbage and being the best I can. Imperfect as I am, but okay with that, and roll with that, and continue to work hard and move forward. And that's my plan for the day, and I'm excited about my day, and I hope you're excited as well. Hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful week. I want to thank you so much for listening to me talk on this Saturday afternoon from Yellowstone. I appreciate you. I hope you are having a wonderful Saturday. Hope you had a great week behind. Hope you're excited about the weekend. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.